All right, welcome back to the channel. So Teofimo Lopez says that he is leaving Top Rank and that Top Rank gave him the golden ticket to get out because I guess that they have been not living up to terms of their agreement. He says 2 more fights and he's out. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So Teofimo Lopez is doing what a bunch of other champions have done, which have led to much more prosperous careers. He says that he is in the position to leave Top Rank. He gave an interview, I think it was to DAZN, but in it, he said, look, I see myself within maybe this fight or my next fight, I'll be a free agent. There's so much proof for me to get out of this Top Rank contract that they gave me a golden ticket. He points to Todd DuBoef, who I do believe is the president of Top Rank, and says that, you know, he looks forward to being able to, you know, cut deals with ESPN, PBC, Triller, or even DAZN. So, you know, gotta say, man, I was a critic of Teofimo Lopez after he won the fight against Vasily Lomachenko. I thought that he was, you know, being a good bit, you know, I don't want to say arrogant because he deserves everything that he, you know, that he was getting. But, you know, just that he was playing a little too many games for my liking. But I got to tell you, man, the business moves that this guy has been making lately, I think he's ahead of the curve a little bit, man. And as long as, you know, he can get maybe 10, 11 fights like he's getting, the guy is going to make more money in 10 or 11 fights than he would have made in 30 fights with Bob Arum. So I really can't fault anything that the guy is saying, but I'd be interested to know what he means by gave him the golden parachute. But the golden parachute it is, because if you look at the history of Top Rank, man, over definitely since, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, you can name fighter after fighter after fighter that was working with Top Rank that complained about the salary or the amount of money that they were making with Top Rank and then went on to doing a lot better afterwards. Perfect example are guys like Mikey Garcia. Mike, starting from like just, you know, some of the less obvious to the obvious, Mikey Garcia was somebody like that. Mikey Garcia was fighting on HBO. I think he might have gotten to like maybe 32 fights, something like that, fighting with Top Rank. And then all of a sudden, he just disappeared for like 2 solid years. After he came back, he fought, what his name? Zadaklanin. I know I'm butchering his name, but he beat DAZN Zadaklanin to win the 135-pound WBC title. I don't think he fought again at that weight class. Maybe he fought one, but then he went up and got, you know, bigger paydays with the PBC. He wound up getting a major pay-per-view fight with Errol Spence Jr. And I'm sure, like, if you can judge, well, I'm not sure, but if judging by the cars that he's driving and the conversations that he's having, he's making a whole lot more money in the, I don't know, 7 fights that he's had with the PBC than he made with the 30 that he had with Top Rank. So that's an obvious example of that. Then you have Manny Pacquiao. Well, Manny Pacquiao, I can't speak for how much he made before Floyd Mayweather Jr., but after he made Floyd Mayweather Jr., after he lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr., Top Rank got real stingy on that money. He had been trying for a long time to do like co-promotional deals with Top Rank, but Top Rank, or, you know, to go out and do Manny Pacquiao promotions, but Top Rank really, you know, wouldn't allow him to do that. Eventually, he winds up getting out of the contract, it expiring, and now he's making 10. This time he's saying he wants 20 or $30 million. No, I think maybe it was even $40 million that he was asking for to fight Errol Spence Jr., right? And now this is without a promoter taking 20% of the cut. Then, you know, even more pronounced than that, Oscar De La Hoya did the same thing. Left Golden Boy Promotions, left Top Rank, started Golden Boy Promotions, and made a slew of money. And then, not only that, became one of the biggest promoters in the sport of boxing, where up until recently, you know, he was getting a cut of Canelo Alvarez's take. So, and then obviously the biggest example of that is Floyd Mayweather Jr., who I think for like $750,000 bought himself out of that agreement and went on to to form Mayweather Promotions and do, man, what, a $500 million worth of revenue after he left Top Rank. So clearly Teofimo Lopez is doing something that is not that is a tried. I'm sure that there is examples of people that left and weren't successful, but not people in as high a positions as, once you get to, this is my thing with Top Rank. Once you get to the point where you don't need Top Rank to promote you and your name has gotten big enough where your name is, your name is a household name, then at that point in time, you're really doing a lot of your promotions through the internet, through your Instagram, through your Twitter, right? Through getting on, sites like Fight Hype, Fight Hub, different, LDBC channels, new media channels, doing those type of things to get your name out there, having videos put out by like channels by this. This is what's really doing the promotion and keeping their names in the media. So after they get to a certain threshold, paying somebody 15, 20% cut on your money doesn't make as much sense. Now, the interesting thing about what Teofimo Lopez said, or another thing that was interesting about Teofimo Lopez, what he said was, it makes me wonder what exactly it is that Todd DuBoef is not allowing him, is not doing, or what Top Rank is not doing that is going to allow him to be out of that fight, now out of that contract so quickly. Now, it's probably related to the amount of money that is being paid and the amount of championship fights or fights that are being offered, for in a given year. Because I know that those are things that people will stipulate in their contract. They're going to have, for championship fights, you're going to get a certain amount of money. You're going to get a certain amount of fights per year. And so Teofimo Lopez was probably, a good, and Teofimo Lopez Sr. were probably, going into their contract with Bob Arum, astute enough to, to say, hey, we know that we're going to be one of the biggest stars in boxing, and we're going to want, they're going to have higher thresholds than other people who may be more passive in their negotiation. And the reason that I say that is just because you see how he's hardballing Top Rank in this fight with, what is his name, Kambosos. I mean, what he did in that particular instance should tell you exactly how hard a negotiator he is. So I'm just assuming that that they're not making either the number of fights per year, or they're not making the amount of money, the minimums that they were off, that they said, because these guys are going to be a good bit strapped by COVID and the fact that there's not as much gates. We don't know about, I haven't heard about, what the ratings have been on ESPN, but, I can't believe that ESPN is like overly happy with Top Rank. If they're satisfied with Top Rank, that's one thing, but I can't believe that they're just, awed by the numbers that they're getting out of boxing from Top Rank. So, Top Rank is in trouble with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez put himself in a good situation, and we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.